right now we have our first ever guest interview on If Dolls Could Talk. We have joining us Anna Mvze.
What's good? Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being on our podcast.
Of course.
And we also have a very special friend, Callie.
Hi. Callie has been here from the jump, you guys. Like every single time we posted, she's been one to be there celebrating it. She helped us with our first photo shoot. Her and her man are an amazing team, so we're excited to have you on the couch today. We're just as excited to have you as well. This has just been a long time coming. We are all sitting here because of kind of like a wild story. I wanted to make sure that we had Callie on because you have quite like the story. And this girl came prepared with her notes.
I have everything here. Everything.
Yeah. So you guys, we met you through like our mutual friends. And so we kind of wanted to leave the floor open for you to kind of talk about how this all happened.
Basically the story of how we all got in touch with each other, and it's kind of an interesting one.
What happened? Like, how did this connection form between you guys? Take us back to where it all started.
So basically, I met this girl on like social media, not Anna.
Not me.
I met this person called Lily Fonzie.
How did you guys meet?
So basically, it was in like a Facebook group that I was like a part of, and we just kind of like kicked it off. Like I thought she looked really pretty. She looked talented. She had like music and stuff like that she was like posting, and I was like, okay, like this girl, she looks cool, you know? So I was thinking, okay, like let me like hit her up and like see where like things go and stuff. And so we talked for probably about like, I want to say like maybe 2 months or so. Got to know each other. We were like talking on the phone. We were talking on like Instagram, Facebook, like just, you know. And yeah, we just kind of formed like a friendship and stuff.
What were you guys like? Were you bonding at this point? What were you guys talking about? Like, how did it get to that point?
So basically, we just bonded over like, I guess you can say like music.
Okay.
I don't know, because like my man's a videographer, right? So I was thinking, I'm like, okay, like this girl, she looks super bad. Like she had like the look to her. And, you know, I'm like thinking like, okay, like maybe like she would want to shoot like a music video or like come out and meet. And she just seemed super friendly and she was like down for it. So I was like, okay, like.
And where did she say she was from?
So she said she was from Florida.
Okay.
And where you're from? DC.
Yes, Washington, D.C.
She's from DC.
Yeah.
This girl's from Florida. Okay.
Did she specify where in Florida she was from?
No, she didn't.
No.
Didn't really get into that, but.
So we don't know if she's like a Miami thing. we don't know if she was coming up with. Pause.
I think it was it's like New Orlando.
Orlando.
Sound like some Orlando
Close.
shit for real.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, but she was like saying like, oh, like I'm from like Florida. I'm like, okay, cool, like whatever. Like that's like what, a 9-hour drive from Toronto, like 3-hour flight on plane, you know?
Yeah.
And the way she like portrayed herself on social media, she looked like the type of girl, like she was always traveling, always in planes, and just made it look like, okay, cool, like I could fly out to you. And I was thinking, yeah, I was like, okay, cool, like let's make it work, you know? And then basically I reached out to her like maybe like 3 weeks into talking. I'm thinking like, okay, like if you're into music, like my man's into music and like he likes filming and stuff. I'm thinking like maybe I can connect the two and, you know, we can make something happen out here in Toronto, because don't get me wrong, there's a lot of talent out here, but not a lot of like females that like look like her and that are into like making that type of music. So I was like, this would be something different and it would just be like a hit. So she agreed. She was like, I'm down to come out, basically plan like this whole big video shoot, like renting a location. She said she was gonna like ship her AMG out here. At first she was like, oh, I'll drive it. And then she's like, oh, never mind. Like maybe I'll just ship it out. And we're like, okay, like.
Wait, and at no point were you thinking like this has to be too good to be true?
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
were you thinking the same thing?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know anything about it at that time.
At this point, you
I'm just like chilling.
not until she had reached out to you.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
right,
no,
okay.
literally. So at first I'm like, okay, like this is kind of like a red flag.
Okay.
I'm thinking like, hey, this is one red flag, but like, let me just see, you know, like what she's about. And so basically she booked like this Airbnb in Toronto and was like, oh, like let's do this studio. My man wrote out a whole treatment. she sent a bunch of music to like his email with like all like these songs and stuff like that, like making it seem like those are the musics that she wants to like shoot with or whatever. And yeah, my man, he was like talking to her as well. Like we were on the phone. She spoke like fluent Spanish. My man speaks Spanish, obviously. So they were talking and like thinking like, okay, we're gonna do this, this, and this. Like just planning out like a whole video shoot and stuff. And it seemed like legit. So I was like, okay, like cool. And we talked like every other day, like whether it would be like on the phone or on text, we were just like talking.
So at this point, you're kind of like developed or you're invested to some degree in a friendship that you've made with somebody online. Like you're invested. This is a real
Yeah,
person.
I was
have a real
super
connection. Like we're gonna
invested.
be friends. We're gonna meet up and whatever.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
what was crazy was like it was around my birthday too, so I was like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna still make it work because like I said, we had like this friendship for like 2 months or so, and I'm like thinking like, okay, like we'll make it work. And she was like, oh, like my birthday is like the 26th. I'm like, what the fuck? Like that's a day after mine. I'm like, okay, I'm like that's crazy. Like
That's a tactic that people use, like trying to relate to you on everything that you say. Yeah, that's it's a real thing that a lot of men do that.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Like that's crazy. And then for my birthday, she's like, oh, like I'm gonna get you like Nicki Minaj tickets. Me, I'm not a super fan of Nicki Minaj. Like back when I was like younger.
I am.
She said, "Send them tickets my way,
Yeah.
shawty."
I'll take them.
No, back in the day, like when I was like 14, 15, I was like, okay,
This
like
one is for the boys in the boom system.
yeah, like no, literally. I was like, okay, like cool, Nikki. Like that was like my girl when I was like younger. I obviously grew out of that, but I appreciated her like being like, okay, like
Just doing more than what a
yeah.
friend is required to
She's
do.
like literally like front row, like
Yeah.
blah blah blah. I'm like, oh my god, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then yeah, so basically she was saying, okay, like I got the tickets. She sent me a screenshot of the tickets showing me like
that they've
where
been
we're
ordered.
ordered, like
Got it.
everything. I'm like, holy shit, like this girl's like legit. And then
So fast forward, you guys are like getting along. She's doing all this for your birthday, whatever, and then kind of how does it link between you guys?
So basically, after all that shit happened, she was like, oh, like my mom got into a car accident and I'm unable to come out. And I was like, okay, like no problem. Like I hope your mom gets well, blah blah blah. And then I went out with my best friend. We were just drinking and just eating tacos. And I was telling her like, oh, I met this girl, blah blah blah. Like she's so cool. And I basically told her everything like that I've
Yeah, you've been
dealing with her, you know. And then my friend was kind of like skeptical. Like she was like, at the time she was like, okay, yeah, like that's cool, but she's being a real one because like literally she took like the girl's photos. So this girl, she goes by Lily Fonzie, okay? And then all of her pictures is some like really pretty baddie girl that's just like wig, like body done and stuff. And my friend was like, oh, like that just seems like too good to be true. And she did like a Google reverse of the image and it popped up to be like some German girl.
I feel like I don't even know how to start if I had to do a Google reverse image search. I'm just not finding shit. Like they would have had my attention for the next 10 years.
10 years,
No, literally. Like I don't think I know how to do all that detective work.
No,
I
I've
think
had to do it on myself before because girls were using my pictures on Leo's list,
Oh,
escorting, and they were using my pictures.
What the fuck?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, so we had to run one of those like
Reverse
internet
image.
searches to see.
So you do
Yes,
the image
fuck.
search and then you find that it's actually what a German.
A German like singer, like
Okay.
just totally different person. And I was just like, what the fuck? And it just didn't make sense. Like I felt sick to my stomach.
So
and,
did
like,
you confront her right away at this point? Now you've seen the pictures, or
I waited. I
Okay.
waited a little bit. I was like, okay, let me just figure shit out because this girl, like the Lily Fonzie, was saying like, oh, like so apparently she worked for like Capitol Records and she was trying to like sue them, and she was unable to release like music and music videos and stuff like that. And so she was just saying like, oh, like I'm dealing with this and blah blah blah. Like I can't release videos or nothing like that, which was like another red flag to us because it's just like, what do you mean? Like, a label, like,
Yeah.
you know? But she just played it off so well. And then, anyways, when we found out that it was like the legit person that wasn't her, I was like, oh, damn. Like, I was like,
Just let down.
yeah.
Just crazy.
It
right?
felt like, I
And
don't know,
so-
it felt like a punch of the face.
She had been sending you lyrics.
And music, no?
No, so she was actually sending like Anna Mvze's music.
Yeah.
Okay, so explain that.
Yeah,
So-
that connection.
Because I'm gonna get to you about this.
I know.
Yeah.
So explain that.
So basically, Lily Fonzie sent Nino a bunch of tracks, like in his email, of like a bunch of music. Renamed
and for what
everything.
purpose was she just saying like, here, check me out?
So we were planning a music video.
So she's like, this is what I'm gonna be singing to.
Yeah, so she's like, pick a
Right.
song,
Right, that's
and like
crazy.
let's work with that.
Okay.
And so I forget what song it was, but it was a sick track of yours, anyways.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, at least you know bitches are singing
I
in the
know,
shower
right?
to
I'm
your music.
flattered.
No,
I'm
it was
flattered.
so good. Like my man was listening to that shit in the car to work on his way home. Like he was like, "Yo," he's like, "I really fuck with this girl. Like this music is crazy." He's like, anyone out here is gonna hear that shit and be like, "Damn." So basically, my best friend, she sent me this link, and it's like an IP address tracker thing.
Oh wow.
And
She got
so
serious.
because I talked to this person on text messages, I had the phone number.
Right.
And like I have a lash business, and so basically I was trying to put it like, okay, when you come out here for like the music video, I have lashes. Here's my link, just click it and pick your lashes for like, you know, the music video, whatever lash set you want to wear. And they clicked it, or Lily clicked it, and then it brought me to an IP address like somewhere like in Florida. And then we looked at the IP address, the coordinates, and then we went on some next website. We found out like the homeowner of the house, and because I had like the social media of the person, it just all kind of just like plugged in. And then it came out to be a transgender guy that was trying to be a girl.
Which is crazy because you said when you were on the phone with this person that they actually sounded like a woman.
Yeah, they sound like a female. Like or he, whatever, spoke Spanish so like good, like in a girl's voice. And like I said, I spent like so many days on the phone with this person. Like,
You're talking to a man.
yeah, but
That's
I would
crazy
never,
the whole
I would
time.
never know. I
That's
would never
crazy.
know
Wow.
because like this person just sounded so feminine.
Yeah.
Like you would just not even like, you know when like some guys like try hard to sound like a girl?
This is
Yeah.
effortless.
This person just sounded like it was just super like,
feminine.
I'm her.
So
You know?
so feminine to the point where you believe that her singing voice could sound like Anna.
Yeah.
Was her voice like similar to how my voice sounded on the record?
Yeah, to be honest.
Because you
That's
have
a
a
little
very
scary.
soft.
No,
No,
to
don't be afraid.
honest,
Because
to be honest,
from the minute
yeah.
I heard you speak, I was like, whoa. Like you have such a soft, like feminine. Like, is it stupid of us to say American? Like, it's not.
No, it is.
It
You
just
never
sounds
really
so, like,
notice.
twangy, because like over here we just have like we have like chicken nuggets with no ketchup, and you have like the ketchup in, your accent. You know?
I like that.
Yeah. No, I feel like not that your voice is replicable. You just have like a very soft, like
Yeah.
not even monotone, but just soft tone.
You just have like a
Aw.
nice
Maybe.
girly, like soft
Yeah.
voice.
Thank
know?
you.
And I feel like if a gay guy tries hard enough, they all sound kind of like soft. Like their instant, like a man's instant thought when they're trying to sound like a woman is just to go softer,
That's true.
like monotone and soft.
But some gay guys, when they talk, you can tell like that guy's gay. Like that's
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
But
That's true.
this person, like you
Yeah,
would
but-
have never suspected it.
Maybe there was
at
like a
all.
voice changer or something.
Wow, imagine if they were already going pretty far to live that
Yeah.
kind of fake online double life thing. I wouldn't doubt it.
So then
Yeah, no. It was
now you know
nuts.
it's Anime's music, so you're like, okay, who's Anime's?
Yeah, so basically, after I did all like the research and stuff, after finding out like the IP address and like the legit person, I was like, okay, like whose fucking music is this? Like where did this person like who is this, you know? If it's not this person, who is it? And then something just told me like Shazam it. And so all the tracks that Lily Fonzie sent to like my boyfriend's email, I Shazammed it and her face popped up. And I was just like, no fucking way.
That's crazy.
Like, wow.
Damn.
Like 2 months in, and I find out, like, for one, this isn't you. And then for two, this ain't your music.
Yeah.
And then for three, you're just like some transgender guy that's like obsessed with like Nicki Minaj, like, you know, because she was like super obsessed. So basically, she took like, or he or whatever, took like the whole route where it's like, I don't know if you guys know about like how Nicki got like not sued, but like in trouble with her music and was dealing with like label and issues and stuff like that. So basically, she like, I guess, perpetrated like, she used like the whole thing that Nicki Minaj was going through and just used it in her favor.
Her own way. Like
In
she
her
took
own
it and
way.
put it-
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
And used it and
That's
basically,
fucking crazy.
and then used her music on
Yeah.
top of that. And then so when I found out, I went to Instagram. I went to her Instagram and I was like, holy crap. And I was looking at like all of her videos, and all the music that Lily Fonzie sent me was all of her music. Like music. She already had music videos for the music and everything. And I was just like, holy shit. Like I went to like the YouTube of Lily. So basically Lily's name is Carlos.
And we know you're watching this.
Carlos, you're gonna
That's
be
for
seeing
sure.
this shit.
Honestly,
You're watching
yeah. If they're taking my music, in my eyes, it's like maybe they were like a fan of mine.
Oh, we have a
No.
million
Yeah.
questions
That's
about
what
it
I'm
for real.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that you brought up the flattery thing, because like when we were talking about it, we're like, isn't that kind of flattering? In like
At
a
first,
backhanded
no.
way. Right?
At first,
1000%,
no.
right?
I was like angry.
Yeah,
when I
for
found
sure.
out about it.
For
Yeah.
sure. Well, yeah, we just wanted to know like what the tea was and kind of how this triangle happened.
Yeah.
And so thank you so much for telling us about that, because that's fucking
Girl,
crazy.
it gets even deeper too. Like, cause when I messaged her, I'm like, hey, like I didn't even know how to approach her, cause like my adrenaline was like so.
You're up here.
Yeah, like I just couldn't believe everything, because I'm telling you, like I spoke to this person on the phone, I FaceTimed them, like even at one point too, like the Lily Fonzie girl, like she did like this interview like online, and she was like pushing for people to watch her interview that she was doing on some app, and she's like, oh, like here's my code, like you can put the code in and watch me live. But it was messed up because the video that she was trying to say that she was going live was already put on like the girl that she stole like the content from. Yeah, so the girl, her name is Kaja, I think. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but she's from Germany. And like the whole Instagram too, like she stole highlights, videos, everything.
You have a sister in victimhood. Basically.
Yeah.
You have a
Yes.
German sister in victimhood.
It
know,
was
right?
crazy though.
I
And
wonder if they know. Does she know the one in
no,
in
she
Germany?
doesn't know, because she's so
That's
famous.
true.
I even sent
That's
an
true.
email out to her management just showing her like this girl is taking your stuff, you know?
Yeah, well, we have questions about that because of the whole like how many times does this happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah.
It was
Wow.
crazy. And then when I messaged her, like I didn't even know what to say, because I just had so much screenshots and just like so much like proof, and I just wanted to show her like this girl's taking your stuff. And when she messaged me, she was like so confused. And then I was just like, I'm sorry to like come at you like this, but like we've been dealing with it for like 2 months, like as friends. But to find out like in one day that like the full like 2 months that I'm talking to someone, that it just wasn't even that person. And then to just come to Anna and be like, hey girl, like I know you're not even from the city that I'm from, or you're not from Miami, and you're from like DC or Washington, right?
Yeah.
Washington, yeah. So I was just like, shit, like that's just fucked up. I sent her everything, all the receipts and stuff, and then she just replied, I think you did like what, a cease and desist?
No, I definitely messaged her
Oh, okay.
or him, and and I was like, I basically said that I would if they don't stop, you
Yeah.
know. And they pretty much laughed me out and was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. And ended up blocking me like right away.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
So you messaged them on Instagram?
Yeah.
And
it
then
was
they blocked
Instagram,
you.
and I think I even messaged them on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I think blocked me, and so I messaged him from my man's account.
Right.
And same thing.
Blocked.
Same thing. Blocked right away.
It makes you wonder like how many people kind of have been victimized in that same way.
Yeah.
Even in different like even different forms of art.
Yeah.
You know, like it depends. I don't know. He
And
probably has-
honestly, like, that's been happening to me a lot, like for the past 2 years. But it's been people creating TikTok accounts or Instagram accounts, taking my videos, taking my pictures, pretending to be me, and reaching out to all the people that follow me, selling them on some tarot card shit.
yeah.
You know? And so that was already something I was going through. So when I heard about this,
You're
I
just
was like, this is too much.
Yeah.
Like, you're taking this shit way too far now.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
But yeah.
So we watched a couple of your interviews.
Yes.
Nice.
They were fun. It was just our way of getting to know you.
Right.
You know what's kind of funny? I'm gonna spill the tea. Is there was one episode that I feel like you were just checked out, and
Which one?
I don't know. I'll tell you about it. But
Oh,
there's one
okay.
episode where I feel like you were checked out compared to the other one that I had
Okay.
seen. And so I just wondered, like, for you getting interviewed, is there ever a time where you're just kind of, you're like, this, like, the vibe isn't fitting for you?
I think it depends. And honestly, my thing with like people that interview me, the vibe has to be right and you have to do your research.
For sure.
I find that a lot of podcasters and interviewers, a lot of them don't do research, you know? And that's a big thing for me because I have a hell of a story to tell. Like, it is what it is. And it's just, people ask the same, oh, so when did you start rapping? Or who's your favorite rapper? It's like, bro,
Yeah.
skip the what's your favorite color shit. Like, let's
Yeah,
get
for
into
sure.
it, you know?
For sure.
So, yeah.
I think then you'll find some kind of like comfort here because I think
I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we want to touch on all the things that I feel like you've been asked about before, but I think we take like a different approach to it. So
Yeah.
we wanted to know what your background's like. We live in a really like tumultuous world today,
Yeah.
society in the northern Americas, and so it's just interesting to think about being teenage girls now, like adult women living. In Toronto or in Canada, what was it like? You're from DC. What was it like growing up? What's your background?
So, born and raised in Washington, D.C. My parents are from Peru.
Okay. What's it like growing up, kind of in that minority group in a country like America, and then zooming in on the like micro
Right.
level, like a state like Washington, etc.
Right. So my parents came here or to DC, and honestly, they were definitely on some like hustle shit, you know. None of them knew the language, but they both took the time to learn it. My mom got her master's, like she was
Wow.
a teacher. I love my parents, you know, but just like a lot of families, there's a lot of dysfunction, and it's not because they mean to. It's a lot of those generational curses that they're just not aware of. So I grew up in that kind of dynamic. You know, my dad, he was an amazing dad, but he drank a lot, you know, and my mom just worked really hard. So majority of my life, I've seen my mom take that role, like to be a leader. And I feel like a lot of that, I was influenced by that. And so I kind of do the same thing with my music in a sense.
By
know?
your mom, you're saying, or just
Yeah.
taking like what you saw from her.
Yeah, like seeing her like make no excuses, always go after what it is that she wants, and discipline. Discipline was everything to her. So I feel like I took a lot of that into what it is that I do, or anything that I do for that matter.
For sure.
You know, but I have an older brother. I wish I had majority of my family in DC, but I don't. Majority of my family lives in Peru. So I didn't necessarily grow up around family or a lot of people. You know, it was always very like, it's just us. So yeah.
Just you and your unit, your parents and
Basically,
your brother.
yeah.
And- interesting. And so what was the intersection like of growing up? There was nothing, you never experienced, like, I think we asked because in Canada it's a little different, but there was no kind of like discrimination based on your race and the intersection of being a woman, especially in the industry that you're in, you know what I mean? Like
100%.
what was that like growing up?
In the beginning, at least when I started rapping, in the beginning, I was signed to an independent label out in Houston. And at that time, World Star was like popping. It was like a thing. And so they would post my videos up on there, and a lot of the comments were just like, oh, look at this Mexican trying to rap, like trying to be like us. Oh, like you should be in the kitchen cooking and stuff like that. So it was just so crazy, like to see the amount of people that are like saying these kinds of things and just completely avoiding the fact that like I'm fire, bro. Like my music is fire. So it was definitely difficult. At that time I was like early 20s, and I don't know, it hit me hard a little bit, but at the same time I had to like adapt. I had to learn to like figure out how to block that shit out.
Find
and
that
just,
like thick skin.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I kind of just got thrown into it.
For sure.
Yeah.
How did you get thrown into it? What does that mean?
So I've always loved doing music since I was a kid. Logic at that time, he's from Maryland, so it's not too far from DC.
Okay.
And he was like up and coming, and he was making a lot of noise. So this was back when I was just like posting shit up on YouTube, just like little freestyles, little remixes and stuff like that. And me and him were kind of cool. And one day he just posted it on all his social media platforms. My shit went viral. It was a remix that I did to 93 Till Infinity. And literally like in just a few hours, that shit hit like, I don't know, maybe 60K. 60K views. And so I just kind of got thrown into the music industry.
Right.
And all of a sudden everybody's like hitting me up, like giving me opportunities, and it was so overwhelming. It was so scary.
So from there, it just continued on.
Yeah.
Snowball effect.
For me, it was like, and I was in school. I was in college.
Okay.
It was my first year of college, first semester.
Wow. Are you a dropout?
I am.
Yeah.
I am. And you know what's crazy too? I love.
too.
Like, yes.
Clock that shit. Clock it.
And it's so crazy because I loved my counselor, right? But when I told him, because that was when I signed, and my school was very strict, so they didn't really allow me to take time off.
I feel like American post-secondary is a lot stricter than it is over here.
Yes.
And your Ivy League schools, or our Ivy League schools, don't even compare to your like
I believe
mid-tier
it.
schools. You know what I mean?
It. Yeah, they
Yeah.
were so strict, and they didn't really allow me to take days off. And so
What were you studying?
communications.
Okay.
I wanted to get into like radio and all that shit.
Ooh, okay.
Radio and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they were based out in Houston, the label that I was gonna be signing to. And so it was just like a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
And it just didn't make sense anymore. And so I took that leap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you. We saw that you opened for Bad Bunny.
I did.
Yeah, what
That's
was
like
that
one of my
like?
favorite shows, honestly. And this was when he was just starting to pop off too. But it was a sold out show out in, I believe it was like Virginia. And they had asked me to open for him. Didn't get to meet him. I saw him like chilling in the car, but I didn't get to meet him.
Yeah.
But man, like the crowd was insane. Like I came out there and everybody had like their phones out as if like I was the headliner. I was like, shit, Bad Bunny, I know you lit or whatever, but I mean, I don't know. But that shit was amazing. That was beautiful. That was a really good experience. Yeah.
And that's crazy because a lot of the times I think just as consumers of music and media, like you'd think that you met Bad Bunny as the consumer, right? Watching, you're like, oh, she's close and she's tight, but people don't really realize the grit and the work
There's
that it takes.
a lot of
And a
behind
lot
the
of like,
scenes. Yeah.
there's not a lot of congratulations at the top, you know? So you kind of just have to do what you have to do in spite of like hoping to meet this person or that person. But because not everyone, barely anyone is going to have the chance to open for Bad Bunny.
That's
you know, like you're on a very small list of people who are going
That's
to
true.
cross
That's
that off their
definitely
bucket list kind of thing.
And you said you felt a lot of support when you were on stage in Virginia, right? So do you feel like, because you're from DC, do you feel like you get a lot of support? What do you call it? Like the DMV? Like,
Yeah.
Do you find that you get a lot of support from your immediate surrounding area?
What's that
or-
like? What's your hometown love like?
I want to say yes and no. I feel like when people are vibing and they're drinking, oh, absolutely. You know, I will say though, Virginia shows a lot of love. Virginia has always showed a lot of love. They be toxic as fuck and they just be with the shits, and I love them. But it's tough. I don't know what it is about the city, what it is about DC, but a lot of people are very too cool for school. They give you that kind of energy. But at the same time, if they'll see me around, they'll be like, oh, like, I love your music. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, what's your favorite song? Can't tell me a name.
Yeah.
You know? So it's a lot of fake love. And when I started going back and forth to Houston, like, those are my real fans. And the love that I get from Houston or just everywhere else is is different. It's a lot more genuine. I don't know what it is.
I like Houston.
I love you. Been there?
Yeah.
I love it. That's my second home.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
go. It's a
Yeah.
good birthday trip idea. Maybe I've been thinking like, where
Hell
should I go for my
yeah,
birthday?
definitely.
I hear Houston is
Definitely.
always a party.
It
Like no
is.
matter
It's a
where, no
whole
matter
vibe.
what.
There's always something going on.
Yeah.
And I
Toronto's
love
in
it.
Houston. You know, like
What do you
Toronto.
mean?
Like Toronto has its ground in Houston.
That's
There's
true.
a lot of
yeah,
Toronto.
yeah,
true.
Like
for
a lot,
sure.
like OVOs
Yeah.
out there.
Oh,
They
for
own
sure.
clubs out there.
Mhm.
Like
100%.
yeah.
Bad Bunny is a pretty I want to say controversial, but I don't think it's the right word. I'd say controversial in terms of like how America looks at Hispanic musicians and creators. You were kind of talking about how America had this shift that went from
Yeah.
like black art into Hispanic art. Like we're seeing today a lot of like whether it's the
Beautiful.
Super Bowl and
Yeah.
which is beautiful, but a lot of people are upset about this like
Yeah.
clinging on to minority cultures for the media and for the art that it produces,
Okay.
and then like forgetting about them and every other aspect of.
That's true.
But it's just interesting because especially like the beef between Donald Trump and Bad Bunny, not literally, just like the things that have been said. What was it like? Did you ever consider kind of the role he plays? Because I think he had made the statement of, I don't make my music for Americans, I make my music for Hispanic listeners. Was there ever something in your head that was like, I'm standing on the right side of history, doing a show, like opening for a show with somebody like him? Or did it never really cross your mind? Like, does politics or kind of like race relations show up in your music at all in that sense? Or was it something you thought of or not really?
Like as far as like me talking about it in my lyrics?
Not at all. Just kind of like you and the legacy you're leaving behind always. I feel like he's someone really powerful for you to kind of step on stage with, considering how many people outside of America know like how serious he is about putting on for his people. So is that something that like, is that a goal of yours as well? Or is that something that you think
Yeah.
you do?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think
What
I
is
think
it
it's
like
so
putting
beautiful.
on for your people?
Honestly, I think it's so beautiful to see that, like, to see where he started to like where he's at now. That takes a lot. You know, that takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of dedication, especially because like you're dealing with so many voices, so many people saying something, you know, and at the end of the day, it don't matter what you do, people gonna always have an opinion, you know, but I think it's amazing. I remember back when I first started doing music, I would do Spanglish, you know, and I would go to these meetings at like Universal,
Yeah.
and they just wouldn't get it. They were like, oh, this doesn't fit anywhere. Where's the market for it?
That was kind of the inspo behind the question, because of code switching, you know, like how much of like a American pop culture white face do you need to put on to be recognized, or maybe you don't.
Right.
But that's kind of what I was
It
wondering for sure.
definitely made me feel that way because they would literally tell me to pick a side. It's like you either
You're one or the other.
yeah, it's like you either do music in English, but at the same time they're telling me you should do music in Spanish. You
Yeah.
know, and it's like I have records in Spanish, but at the end of the day, like I love making hip hop. Like I
Yeah.
love the music that I do. You know, I've been doing it for so many years, and it didn't feel fair at all. And for me, it's like, how do y'all not see that there is a market for that? You know, like there is. Like
For sure.
there was Pitbull, there was J Lo. You know,
For
like you
real.
can't Shakira. Like you can't tell me there isn't space for that. Like
Yeah.
I live in an area where it's predominantly Latino.
Yeah.
And we listen to rap. You go to Houston, it's like a lot of Latinos out in Houston, they listen to rap and they be rapping that shit so fucking hard.
Yeah.
You can't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
Good for you for sticking to it.
Oh,
We
yeah.
know that you did a name switch. You had a name
I
switch
did.
a while ago.
I
What did your
did.
name used to be?
So I had a childhood nickname called Smiley because I always smile. And so my Instagram name at that time was Ayo Smiley. It was AYEYO Smiley. And so when I went viral, just randomly, I kind of got stuck with it. So it was like I didn't really have a chance to like pick because I just got those followers like right away. And so I just rode with it. But then after the split with my label, I just needed a rebrand. You know, it was also like a really tough time because they wasn't trying to let me leave. So I had to figure out ways to like get out of that and still produce music and release it. And so I was working with Mark Henry. Mark Henry's done a lot of stuff with like Fabulous, with Lil Kim.
Wow.
Like, yes, Wale. Like he's done so many things with so many artists. And he came across my music and he saw something in me, you know, and he believed in me and he wanted to produce me. And then we got to a point where it's just like, you need to change your name. Let's do a whole
He had brought it
rebrand."
up to you?
Yes, he did.
Really?
Yes, he did not want me to stick with Ayo Smiley at all.
Yeah.
He just felt like there was no growth behind that. And honestly, I agree, you know? And so we were thinking about names. For sure we wanted like a first and a last. Anna comes from my middle name, Giovanna. And so my first name is Marisol. So we wanted the second name to start with the letter M. So we were in the studio just like looking through like names or words in the dictionary. And I came across the word maze, and just instantly it just resonated. You know, it made me feel like everybody's in some way lost in their own maze, and we're all trying to figure out our way. Happiness, love, success, whatever it is, we're all trying to find it. And that's a lot of what my music talks about, for real, just like my experiences. So it just kind of made sense.
That's so crazy, because when I was younger, like a year ago, I wanted like a tattoo on my stomach that said labyrinth, which means maze, and for the exact same reasons, because I'm so like
I love
lost and
that.
brooding. But we know who it is. We know who it is, but we want to know if it's still the same.
Who's your main inspo for your style? What artists do you look up to?
Y'all know who it is.
It's TLC.
Yes. So it's a mix.
Is it still TLC? And explain it. Like, what was it about them that you wanted to? Did you want to embody it, or how did that guide you, or did it not do anything?
It did. So it was like very early on when I was like starting off. I had a karaoke machine, and one of the two of the songs was No Scrubs and Waterfalls.
Was it preloaded?
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I don't know, it was just something about how it sounded to me. I mean, I've always been into music since I was a kid. Like, my parents listened to a lot of like a bit of everything, a lot of Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, even like music from the 80s, just like a bit of everything. So I was always very like into the sounds. So when I heard TLC, it's just, I loved how it felt. I loved the lyrics, even though I probably didn't even know what it meant for real. But what I loved most is Left Eye's style and her flow, like her pattern. It was just different, and it stood out to me. And so in the beginning, I did try to sound like her, like very, very early on. And I remember when Logic was, when he posted that remix that I did, he gave me a lot of advice. And one of the advice that he gave me was, you need to study music, find your own sound. He was like, don't try to sound like somebody else. Just sound like yourself. And I took that and I ran with it. And it took years, you know. I always say that when I was younger, I feel like I sounded like trash. But, you know, a lot of people liked my music back then, so that's great. But, you know, I never stopped, and I always kept at it.
Do you have any of your favorite songs? I mean, you said what, No Scrubs, and
I love Hat to the Back. I think that's probably one of my favorite records from them.
you still
honestly.
pump it in the car today?
Yes, absolutely.
Period. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we know that you had a label, or you had previously been working on a label. Is that something that you are still like continuing to kind of think towards or plan towards, or is it something? Was it like a venture from the past kind of thing? And what did it teach you? What was the journey there?
A lot. You're talking about May Sound.
Yeah.
So May. So funny enough, you know why we called it May Sound?
What?
OVO Sound Radio.
Really?
So that was an idea that me and my producer had, right? And it came about because there was this artist in the area. It's like a 18, 19-year-old. And he had reached out to me, just wanting me to listen to one of his songs. He had no music uploaded on streaming services. He barely had any posts on social media. He goes by the name of Chris Palace. And he had nothing, you know? And so when I heard his record that he sent, I was like, you got so much potential, you know? And even taking the time to reach out to me just to listen, I was like, that's what's up, bro. Like, because you could have asked me just like for a feature straight up and kept it so impersonal, but it's just like, all right, you know? And I was intrigued, and I ended up jumping on the record and keeping contact. And I was like, what do you think about us producing you and like starting you off as an artist? And that was a very crazy time. This is probably the first time I'm talking about this situation. But that was I learned a lot during that time, I took a step back from my music and I gave my all into coaching this kid. I would record him because I record myself. So I would record him. Our engineer would mix it. My producer would produce his records and stuff like that. We would even go the extra mile and help him create the content. And he was a kid too, so he was very like insecure. He was very insecure at the time. So it was a lot of that. But it got to a point where he took a trip to Miami. He met a few people and he kind of said, fuck us.
Really?
Yes.
Did it get to his head?
Absolutely. And we always knew that, like, we just always
The time
knew
would come?
kind of. We always knew
Because
that it
of
was like
him, or-
in him. Like,
Okay.
I mean, he's young at
Yeah.
the end of the day, you know, and yeah.
So
And
how long was the professional relationship with him?
probably about a year.
And when did it end? When did he go out to Miami?
It was I want to say that was like before COVID.
Oh,
Probably
so a little
before
while ago.
COVID, yeah. But it is what it is. It taught me a lot for sure because we definitely poured into this kid a lot.
Like how expendable is your energy to like
Right.
pour into other people?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it definitely felt like a slap in the face. But I want to say I'm at this point in my life where I kind of forgive, you know, because I do recognize the fact that he was young. And, you know, at the end of the day, you're hungry for what you want and you went out for it, and that's great. It is what it is. It's just one of them things, and I wish him the best. And he's doing a lot of great things right now. I believe he's still signed to Raul Alejandro. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. But he's doing a lot of great things, and I'm happy for him. And I really do hope that he also learns from that and is careful with who he puts his trust into.
So the ball is kind of in his court with the sentiment that you left on this episode today. Like if he were to ever reach out to you, is it all good?
Yeah,
blood
I mean,
between y'all?
he's definitely reached out to me after.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But very like sending little hearts or like hope
Yeah.
you're good, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna force anybody to verbally say like, oh, I apologize. Like, it is what it is. I'm not tripping anymore.
Yeah. Congratulations and apologies are like far and few in between at the top. And so for Anna Mvze, is she an alter ego or is that you?
Oh, this is a really good question. I want to say a bit of both.
Yeah, explain that. Like how does an alter ego show up for you?
I want to say a bit of both because, and I didn't realize it was a bit of both until I started, you know, dating this guy over here. But since I was young, I was always in artist mode, right? So a lot of my energy would be poured into like who the artist was. And so I believe that that's who I was. It got to a point where like people would call me by my first name and I wouldn't react. Like it was just Anna, you know? So when I started talking to him, and we were friends for a very long time before we started dating, but he was a very like, and he's a videographer, so he's in the scene, but he's a very, I want to have fun today. I want to do this. Let's just go chill. Let's do that. And for me, chilling feels like I'm wasting my time. I feel like I could be doing something productive. Like I would get guilty. I would feel guilty if I would just go out and like go to the movies or something. You know, it just didn't feel right. But he definitely taught me how to just relax and take breaks. And they were consistent breaks. And so I feel like I got to know a lot more of who I am as a person, as like a human, outside of like being an artist. Like what do I like doing outside of making music type shit, you know? So I learned a lot about that, just, you know, dating him. And in the beginning, it was a battle because I didn't know how to balance that. Like all of a sudden, it felt like the one personality was just kind of like split in two. you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We heard you talk about a video
Yeah.
that went viral on TikTok, and that's kind of where things started to pop off for you, right?
Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about that video that you posted?
Is
Yeah.
that the one that you were talking about earlier in this episode?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
The
so-
one that Logic posted. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was your experience like with going viral then? Because we didn't really get into that. Like you know,
Yeah.
you're going from no views or whatever it is
Yeah.
to then suddenly kind of like your phone's blowing up. Kind of what did that do to your mentality at that
That
age?
had me sick to my stomach.
What do you
honestly,
mean?
Because I would be getting messages from every social media platform at the same time. So it's like I'm getting comments from YouTube. I'm getting messages to my email, to Facebook, to Instagram, to absolutely everything at the same time. And it literally felt like I could hear all of these voices in my head. And it just wouldn't stop. Like I had to turn off my phone because I was just so overwhelmed. And the next day I told my mom, I was like, I think I did something. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but like, I think I'm going viral. Like, what the fuck?
Was
But
it
it was-
something that in the moment you're like, okay, I need to cling on to this and market?
No.
Or what were you kind of?
No, because I was young, so I wasn't really too familiar with like even how to market,
Yeah.
you know? But
And
I
was it
think
more scary
it
and
was more
nerve-wracking
like
than it was
yeah,
exciting?
Absolutely.
Really?
But I didn't stop.
Mhm.
And if it wasn't for Logic giving me that advice, because he was on it.
Mhm.
And he was always very like, you know, finish school. I didn't finish school, but he was like, don't forget about school, you know, don't trust anybody. And he was like, fuck everybody trying to like ask, okay, when's the next one coming out? He was like, we're all on your time.
Mhm.
Don't rush a mixtape just to please everybody. Do it when you feel ready.
We actually said that about the pod. I think we recorded like 11 episodes
Oh,
and
so
edited
many.
them before we even were like before we even posted one. Like we'd
Yeah.
edit a 50-minute
Such a
episode, sit back and be like, no, do it again. Like we're
For
gonna do it
real?
again.
Just
It takes
learning all the
time.
hardware, learning all the software, like everything. Learning how to
takes a while.
edit.
Yeah.
Actually
just
getting the episode recorded.
Perfecting your
Yeah.
energy.
Like checking all the
you know?
cameras right
Yeah.
now.
You don't realize kind of how your energy conveys to other people until you sit down and ask yourself, okay, like would I sit down and do my makeup to this? Or would I
Right,
turn
right,
it,
right,
you
right.
know, doing the most simple,
That's
mundane
true.
activities.
That's
And
true.
it's the same for music too. It's like how human can people get when they're listening to this?
I completely understand. I think there definitely has to be some kind of limit to the idea of perfectionism.
What do you mean?
So at the end of the day, you never really know.
Right.
You never really know how somebody's going to receive it or how somebody's going to connect to it.
Right.
And to be honest, like that's my whole career, right? So when I first came out, I did a lot of music, and the way that I branded myself was very, oh, I'm a boss bitch, I'm a Latina, like I have to look a certain way, I have to act a certain way. And I would have fans, but it didn't really like pop off in the way that I would have expected it to, you know? And it wasn't until I went through some really fucked up shit. I was in an abusive relationship out in Texas, and I came back home the first time because I had moved to Fort Worth. And I came back home, and it was so embarrassing because he smeared my name all over the internet. And so this whole image of being like a boss bitch, it was just kind of like,
Dragged through the mud by a
and
man.
everybody saw it,
Yeah.
you know? And so for me, I was getting ready to quit music, but thank God that I didn't. And I kept going, and I told my stories through music. That's what connected with people.
Mm-hmm.
Like removing the filters, removing the whole sexy aspect to it, people connected more with my realness.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
That sometimes sex sells, but sex is always gonna sell, and like
Yeah.
realism lasts. You know, like
Yeah.
realism will build you a fan base
Yeah.
that lasts.
so that's what I'm saying. Like you never really know.
Yeah.
You know, we can try our hardest to look perfect or be perfect, but to
It
somebody,
doesn't matter.
it could be the best thing. You could save somebody's life with just one podcast.
And I think being a pretty girl, sometimes we forget, like, the more you strip that back and just be, like, kind of for me, sometimes we can just be unhinged in our
Yeah.
humor. And I think that sells more every time, where it's just so much more relatable. Like,
Yeah.
oh, they're not just, you know, dolls who sit there.
Authenticity.
Yeah.
Because you can
Yeah.
only keep up a fake image for so long.
So long,
Yeah.
right?
Can't do
Absolutely.
that forever. We also learned that you do your own recordings, that
I
you do
do.
everything yourself. So what has that process been like for you?
Because we know what it's like to learn hardware, and we haven't been a fan. So we were wondering,
Yeah.
how the fuck?
Yeah.
Did you learn it on your own? Like,
No, not really. No, I didn't learn on my own. So when I signed to that independent label, they had sent me, because I was still living in DC, right? So when I was living in DC, they sent me an inbox, and I had Pro Tools, and my engineer, from when I first started recording at the age of 15, 16, he was the one that set up the template for me and taught me how to basically record just everything, you know? So he definitely helped out a lot of like giving me the footwork of everything. And at that time I would just record and then I would send it off to an engineer for mixing and mastering.
really?
Yes.
So you did kind of have a team of people in a sense here or there working with you, or
Absolutely.
subcontracted out. Because we did actually wonder about that for ourselves too. It's like,
Yeah.
is it easier? Maybe, and it probably is. It takes a lot of like the stress of the bulk of the fine tuning off your plate.
I would definitely at times, I would like mess with the settings, you know, and I would talk to other engineers to like learn. And there was even like a small moment where I would record other artists as well, just for like practice so I could get used to it. But it's definitely a whole different ball game. Like
and then
it's
recording music is probably very much an intimate experience.
Oh,
like to
yeah.
be alone in your own kind of like with your head.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed that too, honestly, because I recommend like every artist to learn how to record themselves because you learn so much about what your voice can do. Back then I was just rapping. Like I wasn't out here singing or doing all these like melodies or whatever. It wasn't until I met my producer Mark Henry and he was the one that kind of like
Put you on with that.
thinking. And he was like, listen to Drake heavy, listen to Janae heavy, like see these patterns or A Boogie. And he would even be like, take these patterns and make it your own, you know? And so that's how I learned.
What do you mean by pattern?
Like
a flow?
Yeah, like
Okay.
the cadence in which
Okay,
they're
got it.
like, they're not singing. It's kind of like a mixture of singing and rapping, but the cadence in which they're like, they're flowing their lyrics, like just
Emulate that.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've said that Drake is one of your dream collabs. Speaking of Drake,
Yes.
Speaking of T.O.
yes, Toronto. But we're wondering, is he still one of your dream collabs? And
Absolutely.
do you have any others?
I do. So I have 3. Drake is one of them. Jessie Reyes is also another, and I love her.
Wait, she's from Toronto too, right?
Yeah, she's from here. And I went to her concert recently. So fucking amazing. She puts on a hell of a show. And I love that. I love when artists really connect instead of just going up on the stage and just kind of like, but she really connects with her audience. And the other artist, his name is Kari. And it's so crazy because I literally just met him at the mall.
Really?
Yes. Like we
Back
were
in your hometown or?
No, here.
Oh, here.
This trip?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's your first time in Toronto, right?
Yeah.
What mall?
What mall was
The
it?
Dirty D.
Downtown?
It was somewhere
The Eaton
downtown where the
Center?
Oh,
OVO
Eaton
store
Center.
is.
Eaton
Probably
Center.
the Eaton Center, yeah.
Yeah. We were literally in there, and then all of a sudden I turn around and he's inside the store. I'm just like, oh shit, is that Kari?
Wow.
Yeah. So
The universe is always working in your, like, conspiring in your favor, you know?
Yeah.
It's always
That's
going to
exactly
put
how
people
it
in your
felt
path.
like.
It's
Yeah.
funny even hearing her catfish story, and then it's like all of us end up on a couch together, you know, creating
Crazy.
content, like music videos, this, that. It's nothing bad could come from, like,
Right.
good people, good intentions,
Facts.
and good connections made.
Did you say you introduced yourself to him?
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
I definitely did
That's cool.
introduce. It's so funny because when I walked, I fangirled a little bit. I was like,
As you should.
right? And so I walked up to him and I introduced myself, you know, told him I'm a huge fan. And that was it. And I completely forgot to ask for a picture because I'm not used to being on like the other side. I'm used to like people trying to like come up to me. But luckily enough, we ran into him again later in the mall. So I was like, I don't mean to be that girl, but can I I get a picture?
Yeah.
So, but he was cool.
Was he nice about it
Yeah,
and everything?
Yeah.
Cool.
He was cool. Yeah.
What's the experience been like for you so far?
Oh man, I love it. Honestly, Houston is my second home. Toronto definitely feels like another home for me.
Really?
Yeah. The vibe here, and I even feel like even sonically, I feel like here it makes sense. I don't know what it is, but it's just so beautiful out here. And the people that I've been like working with and like meeting, like y'all are dope. Like y'all are really nice.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I feel like I could be wrong, but there's something that's different in Canada and Toronto specifically, it is, you're in the biggest city in the country. You know,
Right.
and we have Vancouver and we have like Red Deer, but
Well,
for the
and,
most part,
like this third biggest city in North America.
Yeah.
Maybe fourth. But
so
yeah.
Toronto really is like the hub, not just of Ontario, but of the entirety of the country. So I feel like anybody who's anybody in Canada, if you're trying to be somebody, you're gonna move here. And so then what you see happens is that the city has just got this influx of creative people and like people who are all working to kind of get to that next level.
Yeah.
And really not in like a crab in the bucket kind of way. Like everyone here will put you on with somebody else who's gonna put you on with somebody else who's gonna put you on with somebody
And
else.
that's so new for me because it's not like that back home.
In America, it's like every city of every state has its hub of like the
Yeah.
people. It's like the people who are
Yeah.
performing, you know,
Yeah.
like
They
statistically.
like a motherfucker
Yeah.
out there. Absolutely.
I think
Absolutely.
a lot of people I think from America who come to Toronto, from my experience, always have a very positive thing to say about their time here. I think that's just been I don't know about you. I think that's been my reality. Like,
Yeah.
everyone has something to love about it here.
Yeah.
For sure. Did you know anything about Toronto moving here, just coming here?
I mean, we might move here. I don't know.
Wow, you heard it here
We'll see,
first.
we'll
You heard
see.
it here first.
Smiley.
What do you think about Smiley? Very popular in Toronto.
Yeah. It was just like a whole era. What I called at that time was my demon era. What if that was my daughter? I don't ever want to like have to pretend everything is okay. Big kids absorb a lot of shit.
Look,
Yeah.
if I stay, I'm gonna die. I need to get out.